collide, an edgy, passionate build-up of needle, of issues, so much on the line, and many questions to be answered by both. But Matt, the greatest thing is that these blockbusters are being made.
Yeah, it's important. Too many fights that these guys are in their physical prime. They're at the pinnacle of their career, and this is what we want to see. We don't want to see these fights fall by the wayside by, over-negotiating, waiting, trying to overcook these things. Let's get these fights on. These guys, the lightweight division is on fire. These being just two of the top guys in the lightweight division, and we want to see these fights get made. So credit to both men here.
George Kambosos Jr. with that career-defining win over Teofimo Lopez. Vasily Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis, so much talent at the top level. How good is Devin Haney? Many believe he is the real deal and will become a superstar in world boxing. We saw that with Shakur Stevenson a few weeks ago when he outskilled Oscar Valdez in Vegas. Can Haney repeat the feat? Getting behind his jab early on. He's skillful, he's calm and composed, but Kambosos will try and rough him up and apply the pressure. He's quick and he's tenacious.
Yeah, he's like a coiled spring. Kambosos, very quick to fire straight back with the counters. Good, Haney's got great hand speed, but Kambosos is quick too.
And he'll try and prevent Haney from coasting in any way as well.
Haney, no, hey, Kambosos.
But has he got the skill set, the ability to deal with Haney on top form?
Watch your head.
Because despite the miles away from his home comforts, he's comfortable in a ring and always has been, Haney.
They're just trying to get a little bit close there, trying to establish the jab, using the feints.
Combinations from Kambosos. The swift jab of Haney.
Hey. Don't push. Hey, time.
Time from Hector Ofu. Very experienced referee from Panama. And three excellent judges as well at ringside tonight. In Pavel Cardini, Zoltan Enyedi and Benoit Roussel, they are well laced in many big fights around the world. So they've got an international array here for this extravaganza in Melbourne. Good work behind the jab for Haney. But Kambosos trying to get a right hand over the top. Around the khaki sort of multi-colours of the 23-year-old Devin Haney and the gold of George Kambosos Jr., the 28-year-old in fight number 21. Undefeated, the pair of them. Who will prevail here? There's the jab again, doubling it up, liking the speed and the accuracy of that early match.
Yeah, good. Kambosos firing back there with a good jab himself. He's quick with the counters. Kambosos, yeah, the good, nice poise, nice composure, good jabs from Haney, controlling the range and distance. But Kambosos quick, very quick with the counters.
Break, David, break.
Both possess real speed for these lightweights.
David, don't push, no.
Again, the referee just sorting them out. Some reddening around the nose to Kambosos Jr., the lethal jab of Haney. And the feint too. But a right hand from Kambosos was a good shot, and the crowd will rally behind every time he does that.
Yeah, good shot. Timed him onto it. Walked Haney onto that lovely.
Not many people thought he beat Lee Selby. Hardly anyone thought he'd overturn Teofimo Lopez, but he's done that, George Kambosos. Write him off at your peril, even though Haney enters this as favourite. And with the poise and the skill set of movement, you can see why. Can Kambosos close the distance? And really pressure Haney and take him to places he might not have been before.
You know, that's what he's going to have to do. But Haney very good at mixing up the jab. He's not getting predictable with it. He's feinting, he's doubling up on it, he's going head and body. So he's not giving Kambosos too much to work off.
Eyes are really focused here, Devin Haney. He knows he's got to perform every step of the way, and this jab is absolutely superb.
Yeah, lovely jab there. He was walking Kambosos onto that. That was a stiff, hard, accurate jab.
Devin.
Frustration could become a problem for Kambosos Jr. Did land that good right hand, but can't get set at times. 6 minutes in, he's got a puzzle to work out, Kambosos, but gets a left hook in, which will buoy him. Sweet-pea, Pernell Whitaker, that fantastic southpaw. These two orthodox, but very different styles of fighters and very different journeys to get here, Matt.
Yeah, like I say, he's been the road warrior, hasn't he, Kambosos? But, you know, Haney went to Tijuana and boxed in Mexico. He wasn't old enough to get a license in the US, so he has been on the road too. Maybe not, hasn't clocked up quite the same mileage as Kambosos, but, you know, he has traveled as well.
I spent an hour or two with Devin Haney a few weeks ago in New York, and he's really mature for his age, a 23-year-old. He's had some tough battles, as Matt says, in Tijuana and getting set in his pro career, waiting for the opportunities. Matchroom and Eddie Hearn did a great job with him. Now under the top rank guys, and I think they believe, like with Shakur Stevenson, that Haney can become a crossover star. Is he good enough?
You know, he's 23 years old. This has been his ass's test so far. You know, he has to travel to Australia against Kambosos, who's the man who beat the man, and you know, he's very much the going into the lion's den here. And so far, he's settled well. His jab's good, looks sharp.
Looks very sharp, and props off to him, not only for traveling this time, but if he wins tonight, Haney, there's an automatic rematch in Australia. Good work from Kambosos, just trying to land something really menacing.
Yeah, but Haney landed a hard right hand there too in that exchange.
Yep, got one back in quick-fire fashion, and that wand of a left hand, the jab, proving very difficult for Kambosos to find a way around. He's gone down to the body as well. Haney, this is very impressive. Right hand too from the American.
Yeah, no, and even that jab to the body is such an effective punch, because it just means that Kambosos has to reset. You know, he's trying to wedge forward, he's trying to keep the pressure on Haney, but when he hits him with that jab to the body, he squares up, drives him back, and he just has to reset.
Watch your head.
You mentioned those split decisions earlier that Kambosos has had to go through. They haven't been easy against the likes of Bay and Selby and Lopez, even though he's got the victories. And this already proving another challenge. Haney flowing, fluent, and boxing beautifully.
Yeah, not allowing himself to become predictable. He's giving him a different look. He's changing the angle. He's using the ring. He's going up and down with the body. He's using feints as well.
And he's proving difficult to catch too. In and out, cat-like from Haney, who's bossing the opening stanzas here in Melbourne. To Australia for many weeks, but got the visa at the final hour, and that was a real bonus for Devin Haney, who's executed his game plan really well, I believe, Matt, so far.
Yeah, and I think, you know, listening to the dad there in the corner, they wanted to go first to trigger the counter from Kambosos and then come back at him after that, because, you know, Kambosos is like a cold spring, isn't he? Ready to pounce with the counters, so I think they want to trigger him and then go back at him.
Do you think he is a bit tense, a bit sort of too coiled and fired up, Kambosos, and can't really flow?
No, I think that's just his style. He's waiting for the counter, so he's there very much on standby, ready to react. So when Haney gives him the feints, he'll react. So what his dad wants him to do is to go first, make him react, then react back to him. So when he counters you, you counter him.
Again tries to jab to the body, Haney, with that reach advantage. And the class that's caught the eye.
No, don't hit him, please.
So with the extra, he's the extra speed with Haney as well, and the better probably judge of distance and range. He can win this fight at long range and starts clocking up the rounds on the cards, and then Kambosos then has to chase the fight.
He's got a 3-inch reach advantage, and look at that speed with the jab again. Haney, 5 years younger as well. Just gets a real range and fantastic pace to that key weapon, the jab. Digs in a body shot.
Break.
Yeah, Haney controlling the range, controlling the pace of the fight as well.
Kambosos trying to close that down. Every time he does it, he finds a jab. Blood to the nose of Kambosos, who's biting down on the gum shield, inching closer, but not really landing anything of any massive authority. He's missing. That was better from Kambosos Jr., but he needs more of it.
Yeah, better from him, but definitely needs more. Good jab there from Haney.
WBC belt of Devin Haney, the WBA Super, IBF and WBO of George Kambosos Jr. The Ring Magazine as well, one of the elite matchups of 2022. And so far, dominated by Devin Haney. And a fantastic jab, and the boxing brain and the rhythm he's got into. George Kambosos Jr. trying to upset that. Little bit of success in the fourth. You gave him a share, didn't you, of the opener?
Yeah, I shared the opener. I mean, he's competitive in every round, but the better shots, you have to say Haney's having the better of it. He's controlling the pace. He's dictating the terms in there. So far, it's his, you know, he's controlling it in there. It's his fight.
Absolutely. I think he's been comfortable from the off. Razor-like focus. And speed and fleet of foot as well, but he can coast Haney. He can sleep at times during fights. And Kambosos Jr. will be so determined to continue his reign here in front of these thousands of fans.
Yeah, I don't think Haney can't afford to switch up here because Kambosos is sharp too. You know, he's just, Haney's that big, sharper than him, but if he switches up or he starts to coast or anything like that, then, you know, Kambosos will be all over him.
Done it the hard way, Kambosos Jr. Bullied at school, found boxing, and even winning the eliminators, like against Lee Selby, being the big underdog against Teofimo Lopez.
It's nice work there from Kambosos, jabbing the body, but then, you know, Haney comes back with a good jab to the head himself.
And it's that thudding jab, and it just keeps coming at Kambosos Jr., whose head movement's not been great. Just static upper body.
I think it's just the extra speed of Haney and the extra, you know, better at range, better at distance. He's just, Kambosos is struggling really to get to him.
He'll battle away, no question, the Spartan warrior from Australia.
Yeah,
Haney at the moment looks in the mood tonight.
That was better though from Kambosos there. He came in behind the double jab. The single jabs, he's falling short. When he comes in behind twos and threes, he's having more success.
10 seconds.
Left hand from Kambosos. Big swing and a miss though. was ill in the Garden back in November 2021, but take nothing away from what George Kambosos Jr. achieved in America and what he hopes to in his home of Australia. But it's been a tough first 5 rounds against the sharp, speedy fists of this clever Devin Haney, who's beaten the likes of Jorge Linares, even though a fading fighter, and Jojo Diaz. But he's still looking for a defining night. Could this be it?
No. Don't push. Hey, Haney.
Tries the body shot. Kambosos Jr. marked up around the head area, but you're not going to hurt his heart or bottle. Fiercely proud, Kambosos Jr. with his Greek-Australian crowd and the heritage. But is he on the Haney level?
You know, Kambosos is sharp and quick with the counters and the reactions himself. It's just that Haney's that little bit quicker.
Left hand from Kambosos, better when he lets the fist fly, which he's got to do. Throw a bit of caution to the wind, try and back Haney up.
Yeah, he's got to push shots together as well. You know, single shots, I don't think you're going to catch a guy like Devin Haney with those reflexes that he's got and that speed of foot. You're going to have to come in behind the double jab, put 3, 4, 5, 6 shots together. Single shots aren't going to do it with someone like Haney.
Body shot from Haney, neither huge punches. 10 of his 20 wins, Kambosos coming by knockout, 15 of Haney's 27, but often at this sort of level, they tend to go 12 rounds, don't they?
Yeah, you know, as I said before, you know, Kambosos, I don't think can match. He doesn't want to play that cat and mouse game with Haney, try and match him for speed, because, you know, Haney's too quick. He's got to put shots together, even take one to give one.
Gervonta Davis is the big difference, isn't he, in the 9'9" lightweight division for the real power. That knockout of Leo Santa Cruz, for example.
Yeah, you know, the thing with Gervonta Davis, he carries one-punch KO power, doesn't he? He can knock you out. One shot is all he needs, where these guys are landing the better shots as well.
Second half, undisputed lightweight title on the line in Melbourne. On the left of the screens, the heavily tattooed George Kambosos Jr. in the gold trunks and the khaki and different colors of Devin the Dream Haney, who's brought a few from America, drowned out by the massive Australian crowd, hoping their new hero George Kambosos Jr. can keep all the treasure down under. Or will it be going back to Las Vegas and the Nevada desert to Devin Haney? This is where Kambosos wants him.
Yeah, that's better from Kambosos, coming forward, putting shots together, combinations, driving him backwards, getting up close to Haney. That's what he needs to do. I think standing at distance, trying to go tit for tat, trying to swap jabs and, you know, right hand single shot counters. I don't think that's going to win the fight for Kambosos. He's got to be busier.
Matt, we were ringside when Devin fought Alfredo Santiago on that bizarre KSI Logan Paul night, and you know, he flattered to deceive, didn't he? He can be like that.
Yeah, it was an underwhelming performance. He won and won clearly and easily, but just didn't really get out of first gear, did he? As you say, it was one of those nights where he just coasted. He was happy just to stay in that comfortable position, where really we wanted to see him step on the gas and make a statement.
Look at him inching back and forth and judging the distance. Terrifically, Devin Haney.
Yeah, I think from Haney's point of view, he's winning these rounds. He doesn't need to change his game plan, his tactics. It's Kambosos. He's the guy now who needs to take chances. But he's winning this on the jab, Haney. The jab, the speed, the movement.
And again, doubling up. More frustration for Kambosos Jr. He's still bouncing on his feet, trying to get close, but Haney's out of range, and back with that rapier-like jab, the right hand as well that follows.
Yeah, sharp right hand counter that was.
He might not be Floyd Mayweather, but there's glimpses, there's flashes of some real quality, and you can see where he's learnt his trade.
Yeah, no, lovely long-range boxing, beautiful jab, walked onto that lovely right hand a few moments ago.
And just planting his feet a bit more as well, Haney.
Break.
But he's into the 8th round. And how many has he actually won on the scorecards of the 3 judges? On Matt's, it's well, almost unanimous, isn't it?
Yeah, I gave him a share of the first, but ever since then it's been, I've given Haney everything else. Seemed lovely going the jab, head and body there. I wonder how are his corners seeing the fight, because, you know, if they've got it closer, then maybe they think he's still in this in terms of winning it on the cards, or if they're seeing it out as I am, at what point do they say, look, you need to go for it, you need to start taking some chances.
6.5 years of pro Devin Haney. And he's waited for his moment. Didn't win the WBC belt in the ring, just handed the title, as Kambosos said, but maybe he's been waiting for the dream to come down under. The defining night. George Kambosos Jr. has got to do something quickly.
He's just struggling to pin Haney down. He's got good upper body movement, he's got quick feet at getting out of distance, and when he does manage to get near him, the upper body movement's good as well. So he's very slippery, Haney, very difficult to catch with anything clean, and even when he does have some rare success, he's finding it difficult to put, you know, anything behind that. It's single shots here and there. He can't really put combinations together and make a dent in Haney or knock him out of his rhythm.
No, painting a picture here, Devin Haney, showing the world how good he is. And George Kambosos Jr. is just on the end of these painful jabs, trying to get those combinations going. Nothing wrong with the attempts, Matt, but not landing.
I just don't think he's got the speed, you know, to fight this kind of fight at this distance. He's just not going to win it.
Brilliant that from Haney. Stunning with the jab. And at the moment, he is outclassing the #1 lightweight in the world.
You know, it's not just the hand speed from Haney, it's the speed of foot, because, you know, if he could get to Haney and maybe start working the body, but we said you should do this and get close, but that's easier said than done when you're in there with someone like Haney and he's got that speed and he hits you with the jab and he offsets you with the feint. It's very difficult to close a guy like that down.
Crowd roaring him on. Kambosos trying to get up close and personal, but Haney's off again on his bike. Finding it so hard to land on this American who is producing the best performance of his career to date. Quality from Devin Haney. Well, a rather worried Team Kambosos, the family at ringside, his partner Rebecca and children. The crowd raise their voices. He'll need them, and he might need more than just that, as Haney executing a brilliant game plan here with a superb jab. He chucked an uppercut in, he's worked the body well. And Kambosos Jr. has tried, but he walks into a right hand again. Heavier looking artillery, better from Kambosos. Right hand, best shot for a long time.
You see, it's frustrating when you're... Oh, good right hand there from Haney. You know, you got someone like Kambosos in the corner saying, listen, you got to get closer, you need to do this, but you find someone like Haney, it's a lot easier from the outside looking in. You know, when you're in there with a guy who's got speed of foot on you, better, faster reflexes, quicker hand speed. You know, what do you do? It's very difficult. It's really hard for Kambosos in there because he's struggling to have any success.
Apologies for the language, the emotions running high in the corners, of course, but both of them giving everything to this. Feints going southpaw for a minute, George Kambosos, but he just can't get near him, and that right hand that he landed was, you know, a good shot, but so few and far between. And Haney boxing quite majestically at times here. I love the movement.
Yeah, he just can't get to him. Like I said, it's the speed of foot, it's the movement. He just can't pin him down, and you know, nice right hand there, looping over. But he's struggling to really make a dent here in Haney, who looks in control, looks comfortable.
And he's not coasted, has he? Devin Haney. He's been on the ball from the opening bell. Kambosos Jr. thinking, how can I throw the cluster of punches that's going to get Haney in trouble? But that speed and the jab, it's a clinic so far.
Yeah, beautiful jab. It's just been the key shot. It's worked so well. It's been a rangefinder, it's been a point scorer, it's been a solid and spiteful at times as well. And it's set up the right hand. He's landed a couple of good, solid right hands in this round, has Haney. Outboxing Kambosos.
10 seconds. Hey, Haney.
Every single session, and up off his stool again. George Kambosos Jr. with 9 minutes, we believe, to try and turn this on its head and somehow become the undisputed champion, because at the moment all the belts are heading stateside. Although remember, there is that rematch clause, so Haney might have to go down under and do it all over again, but still there's time for Kambosos.
Fit.
Yeah, well, I think we need to see something pretty dramatic here if Kambosos is to turn this around.
Watch your head.
Well, it's the game plan they obviously cooked up across the world with his dad back in America, Ben Davison in Britain. But, you know, although mentally it's good that his dad's in the corner, I think he could have just carried this out if he'd come on his own.
I think he probably could have. I mean, Kambosos landed a couple of good body shots there, but yeah, this has been a very composed, mature performance from Devin Haney. Just stuck to the game plan, box to instructions.
He looks so natural in there as well. As much as the old cliche, born to box, there's a feeling that really goes towards Devin Haney in there tonight.
Yeah, he's like a bar of soap, isn't he? Kambosos just can't nail it, can't pin him down, can't really put anything together. He's having some success with single shots here and there, but can't really put anything behind it.
Last minute of the 10th, that jab again gets going. Defense has been good from Haney. Kambosos trying to sneak a left hook in there. Up the tempo, good body shot.
Yeah, this has been a better round from Kambosos. Having some success there with the body shots.
3 judges at ringside from Canada, Hungary and Poland. You never know how they're seeing things. They could have it close to the new map.
Yeah, possibly, but I don't know. I think it's been pretty conclusive from Haney. He's dictated the terms, he's controlled the distance, controlled the pace. He's certainly outlanded Kambosos in the majority of the rounds.
I think well, George Kambosos, and actually it's a very, very good fighter against someone who could become a great fighter.
I think, yeah, that could be it. I think. Look, I think he caught Teofimo Lopez on a bad night for Lopez. I think he was believing his own hype and got carried away, looked past it and boxed badly. Taking nothing away from Kambosos, he boxed brilliantly on the night and rightly won. But, you know, I think in a guy like Haney here, and you know, Haney's 23 years old, he's going to get better and better. And, you know, he looks like he's got another gear or two here.
And I wonder if some of those slightly patchy performances from Devin Haney to date is because he hasn't had that fear and he hasn't been laser focused on the job, and he has here round after round, every minute he's wanted to outclass George Kambosos Jr. and behind that super jab from the opening bell, he's done that. We made the comparison to Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez, battle of the unbeatens, and Shakur won round after round and announced his place on that pound-for-pound list. And we got a compatriot, American in Devin Haney.
Yes, well, it's similar in the sense as well that in a fighter like Oscar Valdez, who's a brilliant fighter, Shakur made him look so ordinary because that's how good Shakur is. And, you know, Valdez couldn't get anything off. He just couldn't find any rhythm. He couldn't put combinations together. And nothing worked for him because of how good Shakur was. And very similar situation here with Devin Haney. You know, Kambosos trained hard. You can see he's sharp, but Haney's just that bit sharper.
See the frustration there. He didn't know where he'd gone, Devin Haney. Boos from the crowd, but yeah, they unfortunately are seeing their countryman, their proud warrior, just getting a bit of a boxing lesson tonight. No shame.
Watch your head, watch your head.
But he needs a knockout, George Kambosos, surely. However the judges are seeing it, whether they've given Haney every round like you have, Matt, bar that first one that you gave a share of, he must be in a massive, massive lead.
Yeah, gotta be. Boxing so well here as well now. A bit of swagger to his boxing, going up and down, head and body. Oh, lead right hand. Beautiful work from Haney. Counter, check, left hook as well. You know, it's not for the one to try and either from Kambosos. He's really willing himself on. He's trying to force it, trying to create something out of nothing, but he just can't pin Haney down.
He's painting an exquisite picture on the ring canvas that he adores and is so at home in 12th round, and he's still trying. He still wants this so much.
Well, I think it's fair to say he needs a knockout, and I've no doubt he'll go for it, try everything he can, but
there's absolutely no question. Surely Devin Haney has been punch perfect. It's rare you use the term a masterclass at this sort of elite, undisputed level, but that's what it's been.
Yeah, a fighter in Kambosos who's a really good fighter, you know, top fighter, and he just can't, struggling to have any success at all, just really finding it hard to pin Haney down and put anything more than ones or, you know, single shots. He's having success here and there, but he can't put combinations together. He can't put any sustained attacks together.
I asked you earlier on in the evening whether Lee Selby at a prime stage of his career would have beaten George Kambosos fairly comfortably, and I wonder if we're just seeing, you know, a real battle-hardened fighter who's come up the hard way, dedicated himself to succumbing to sort of more natural talent, and that's what Selby had back in the day. This is what Haney's got now, 23, young, and it's a night where he's put it all together and really concentrated.
Yeah, I think so. I think you could say Kambosos is someone that's probably achieved his potential, or maybe even overachieved. He's got the absolute best out of himself. Strong, determined, does have a skill set, is skillful, is technically good, is tactically acute fighter, very good, quick with the counters. But I think when you're talking about Devin Haney, you're talking about, you know, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, these guys, they're just that little bit, they've got that bit more to them, that bit of extra special class.
Inside the last minute of this Undisputed Championship, still George Kambosos Jr. digging in, punches his gloves, trying everything he can, every second.
But we knew he wouldn't stop trying. That's one thing we knew about Kambosos. He would give it absolutely everything he has got to the very last, to the final bell. But in terms of judging the distance, counter-punching, speed, repertoire, ring gentlemanship, you have to say Haney's been a class or two above.
The spirit shown from George Kambosos Jr. This crowd can be proud of, but it is a sparkling, dazzling display. 8,000 miles from home to light up the lightweight division. A dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds, we go to the scorecards. Zoltan Anyeti and Benoit Rousseau both scored it, 116 to 112.
By
Pablo
four.
Cardinia scores it, 118 to 110. All three judges have it for the winner by unanimous decision. From Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, now the universally recognized undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin "The Dream" Haney.
Unanimous, undisputed, a new star is born. The lightweight champion, Devin Haney, makes his dream come true in Australia with a quite fabulous performance. The WBC champion adds the WBA Super, the IBF, the WBO, the Ring Magazine by 8 on Pavel Kardeni's card. And I think we feel too close by 4 on Benoit Roussel and Zoltan Anyeti. Doesn't matter, it's unanimous. He gets the decision and the verdict. There's a little nastiness in the ring. Ludabella's just trying to sort it all out. We don't need that after what's been a clean fight and a good ending to the build-up between the two warriors. It'll be nice to see some respect. I noticed George Kambosos was nodding in agreement when the announcement came, because the Las Vegas bit came before Devin Haney started celebrating, and George Kambosos now can go and give full respect to Devin Haney. Warriors in there, good to see. Finally, the bad blood ends in respect, and I hope they can have a drink afterwards. Devin Haney's night.
Devin Haney, the 8th fighter in the 4-belt era to become the undisputed champion of the world. How does that sound?
Alhamdulillah, all praise due to Allah. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
It is quite the scene, quite obviously, here in the ring. What did it mean to have the man who's holding you and the belts behind you, your father, Bill, arrive here overnight for this fight?
Man, this is a dream come true. I was going through it without my dad being here, because I knew this was a big moment for both of us. We both dreamed of this. Since we started out, we said we wanted to be the best. And it would have hurt me to accomplish this without him. So I'm so thankful. I thank God, alhamdulillah, that we was able to accomplish this together.
The fight itself, you looked very comfortable from early on.
Yeah, I was comfortable. I just was sticking to the game plan. The game plan was to go in there, hit, and not get hit. And I did that for majority of the fight. I took the last round off just because I knew I was comfortable ahead. But I fought a good, smart fight.
You said you knew what he would do, when he would do it, and how he would do it. Is that how it played out?
Yeah, I handicapped him of his best things. He wanted to land the overhand right hand, and he wanted to land a big left hook. I handicapped him. I was fighting both ways. When I would go to the left, I would fight his right hand. When I would go to the right, I would fight his hook, and he couldn't hit me with neither one of them.
You signed up, both of you, to do this twice. Will we see you back here later in the year in Marvel Arena again?
Inshallah, you know, if it's meant for it to happen, if Allah, you know, wants it to happen, I'll be back.
What do you have to say about your opponent today? He was very magnanimous in bringing over the belts and handing them to you, having lost the fight to you.
I take my hat off to him because he's a true warrior. Anybody that steps in the ring, I respect. It was nothing but respect through the whole build-up. Even though he got disrespectful, I stayed a gentleman and I stayed professional.
Congratulations, it is a momentous day. Undisputed champion of the world.
I want to thank George Kambosos and all of Australia for coming out. Thank you, George, for giving me the shot. A lot of these so-called champions, they wouldn't give me my shot, but George was a true champion and he gave me my shot. So thank you for this.
Congratulations, Devin. A tremendous job here today on enemy territory here at Marvel Arena. We will wander over the ring and make our way to George Kambosos right now to speak to the man who created this day right here in Marvel Arena. It's been a fabulous occasion, George. Obviously, it didn't work out the way you wanted, but what a day this has been.
Yeah, look, this is amazing for the sport, amazing for this country, and at the end of the day, I want to take the best test, the hardest test, so I'm going to give him full respect after his victory today, let him have his time, and we'll do it again. I had to implement a few things, but I thought the fight was very close, but look, I'm not going to wreck his moment. I had my moment in last November, and my moment was wrecked, so let him have his moment, and I'll see you again real soon.
I've got to take you back to yesterday, to the weigh-in. You had the hiccup as far as making weight was concerned. Was that a factor in this decision?
No, that was definitely not a factor. He just boxed his game. You know, he moved, he boxed. He didn't really want to come to fight too much, but that's his game. So I'll give him respect, and I'm going to change a few things and get him back end of this year. So all respect to him. Let him have his moment, and thank you to everybody in Australia, everyone in Greece, everyone in the world. I take the risk. I fight the best of the best, and at the end of the day, I didn't have to fight him. Not many wanted to fight him, but I gave him the shot straight away. So I'm sure we'll do it again.